afraid. Be very.
What's good, everybody? It's welcome back. We are doing our review of Ant-Man, Wasp, Quantumania review. Be prepared because this movie was just—it's not a great movie. It was a dumpster fire. Phase 5 is off to a dumpster fire. So for my review, for me, it's no spoiler review. Uh, it's another throwaway movie you don't need to watch. It's just the writing is so tough. It's cringy. It's really hard to get to really like just get through with the dialogue. The dialogue really hurt a lot of the actors, the actresses, and everybody who's in this movie to really give you a good performance. Like Jonathan Majors, great actress. Just the dialogue, the writing really hurt to really show what he can bring. As a menacing and threatening kind of villain. For me, he came off a little bit like a Batman Forever, Batman 66, like comic book movie villain. Thank you, Jeff Levness, for like really ruining the writing on this. Like it was just really awful. Um, there's a lot of plot holes in this. Way too many plot holes. I mean, especially if you've watched the Ant Man Wasp, the second one with Michelle Pfeiffer, who didn't really seem pretty cool them going into the Quantum Mania, and then this one, she had a really hard time with going into the Quantum Mania this time or Quantum Realm. It's well, just an example. The multiverse, just a lot of stuff they didn't really fully explain. But like I said, it just felt like a Spy Kids 3, Spy Kids 4 type movie. The CGI was so bad. Like you can just tell they're on like a sound stage with rocks around it, running around. The you just clearly see this movie was just awful from the beginning. But overall, this just and Modoc was another thing. I mean, well, I'm sure everybody has something to say about Modoc and just how he was used as well. But overall, for me, I mean, I have a pretty short review. But overall, for me, this was a 3 out of 10.
Everyone listen to what I'm about to say because this is going to be a long one and this is going to hurt. That's what she said. Uh I'm gonna ask you guys a question, and I want you guys to notice a pattern here. Thor: Love and Thunder. We had a great teaser trailer, showed us what is going to be in the movie, and had us all excited. Then the movie ended up being terrible. Multiverse of Madness had two great trailers, showed us that it was going to be a lot more serious, a lot more horror themed, had a lot more interesting plot points. Movie comes out. It's very disappointing. Not terrible, but very disappointing with missed potential. Quantumania had a great teaser trailer with Elton John's song in the background. Amazing trailer. Had us thinking that it was going to be more serious and more important to the MCU, considering that his last two movies were really kind of just filler. Movie comes out. Disappointing. I cannot understand for the life of me why this movie continues to make me feel like an idiot. Because this movie made me feel like I was a child. This movie made me feel like I was, excuse me, this movie made me feel like I was stupid. The jokes are ridiculous. I hate the jokes. The jokes. I don't think we had not one serious scene besides. I don't think we had more than one serious scene besides it being interrupted by a terrible joke. We had two times where someone was giving expository dialogue and it gets interrupted by a stupid joke. We had a scene of where two characters were basically talking about a ridiculous fucking mind reading joke for more than 30 seconds. We had a fucking joke about, oh, how many holes do you have? Really, Marvel, really Disney. That's the best you can come up with. Seriously, I'm not even a writer, and I can write better jokes than this shit. Sorry, excuse me for my language. I'm sorry. And now let's address the elephant in the room, Modoc. What? I'm sorry, I didn't know Humpty Dumpty was the new villain of the MCU now. Like, I mean, what the heck? the fact that it was Darren Cross didn't get me upset. It's the fact of how they handled him, and the fact that he had a redemption arc at the end. Oh yeah, spoiler alert. The fact that he had a redemption arc at the end made no sense, and it came out of nowhere. It came out of nowhere. Came out of nowhere. The last time I saw a character that had a redemption arc that came out of freaking nowhere was Reva from fucking, again, sorry for my language, but it was Reva from Kenobi. I'm sorry, Mark, but Kenobi is terrible, and Reva was a terrible character. I'm sorry. But another thing, and again, let's address another elephant in the room. Catherine Newton being recasted as Cassie. She was terrible in this movie. She was terrible in this movie. I think Cassie was really, really terrible in this movie. She basically her character just did a whole complete 180, and she was basically treating Scott with like such utter disrespect at the beginning of the movie, and I'm just like, what's going on here? Like, why is she acting this way? She was just really annoying. Not annoying. She just wasn't. It wasn't it for me. Part of the reason why I like the Ant-Man movies is because of the relationship between Ant-Man or between Scott and Cassie. And in this movie, it's clearly obvious that Catherine Newton and Scott and Paul Rudd had no chemistry. They had no chemistry. No chemistry at all. And I feel really bad for the actress that got replaced because she really did an amazing job for the one scene that she had in Endgame. And I don't want to keep this review on for too long, so I'm only going to say two more things. One, Kang was handled very terribly. For the fact that this movie kept telling me that this was a villain that was like the biggest was the baddest like villain in the universe. This movie kept telling me instead of showing me why he was the baddest villain in the universe. You were building up this character from Loki as the big bad for this phase in the next couple of phases, and he gets defeated by not Scott, not even Hope. He gets beaten by ants. Ants. The biggest bad, the so-called biggest bad for the next three phases gets defeated by ants. And now the last thing, and this is going to be my last thing overall. I'm scared. I am scared for what the MCU is going to be for the future because the way Kang was handled was very disappointing, and the fact that Marvel has just the excuse of, oh, we have multiple variants of Kang, so we can just do this with his character. That's a cop-out move. That's just a lame excuse to excuse terrible writing. Because imagine if Thanos just died and it's like, oh no, Thanos is going to be back because he has multiple variants. That doesn't make any sense. The reason why Thanos was such a great villain is because it built him up properly, and when he was on, and when he finally see him in action, he showed us why he was not someone you wanted to mess with. He showed us why he was the biggest bad of the entire MCU. We weren't told anything. We were shown. I don't understand where the MCU lost the art of show, don't tell. They are telling us and not doing a lot of showing. And with that being said, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Oh, I'm sorry, Ant-Man the Quantumania, because the Wasp was barely had a character in this movie. So I don't even know why it's called Ant-Man and the Wasp. Ant-Man Quantumania, or sorry, you know what? Let me rephrase that. Ant-Man and Janet Quantumania. I give it a 5 out of 10. A movie that I really did not want to give a low score to, but I'm just very, very disappointed. Wasted potential.
Another boring, lame, generic movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Hooray. There's only a few redeeming factors I found in this movie. For one, the acting from everyone is solid. Jonathan Majors, I thought he was great as Kang, and he does have his moments up until the very end where he's treated as a joke. There are some interesting settings and some fun action scenes, and that's it. Ant-Man 3 suffers from the two big factors I'm getting sick of with the MCU. The over-reliance on shitty and fake-looking CGI and the annoying humor that kills the tension. Not once did I laugh at any of the moments that were supposed to be funny. It's not as horrible as the humor in Spider-Man Homecoming, Shit and Blunder, or She-Hulk, but it's still pretty insufferable. While there are some fun action scenes, the horrible CGI kills it. I know I am looking at something that's being shot on a soundstage in front of a green screen. It looks like I am looking at a video game. This is not a superhero movie. This is something I'd see from fucking Spy Kids. This shit looks like Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Nothing in this movie looked real. The creatures and aliens of the quantum realm, those designs could have been cool, but the crappy CGI ruined it, especially that one slimy thing who ran like Ezra Miller. Bill Murray, why was he in this movie? What purpose did he serve? MODOK, why was he in this movie? And the twist of him being Yellow Jacket was so goddamn stupid. And the CGI on his face, the only time I laughed in this movie was when I saw his face. I saw that face, I laughed my ass off. He looks like Jay said, he looked like Humpty Dumpty. He looked like Mr. Electric. I was expecting him to make fucking puns about electrical terms. The actress who played Cassie, not only is she terrible, I found her to be very annoying in this movie. Not just annoying, but a little brat and fucking stupid. The reason they all end up in the quantum realm is because of her. And speaking of which, the pacing in the beginning is too goddamn quick. Like, there's no build up to them being sent to the quantum realm. It's just like a couple scenes, and then bam, they're in the quantum realm. And then by the end, the movie fucking drags. By the end, honestly, by the big climax of the movie, I was bored. I was so bored. And while I did think Jonathan Majors was great as Kang, he had his moments, but he wasn't super threatening. He was all talk. And the idea of this guy being defeated by ants is so goddamn stupid. It reminds me of Ghostbusters 2016, where the villain is defeated by being shot in the nuts. It's just, this is easily one of the most bland. Actually, you know what? I'll say it. It is the most bland MCU movie. Throughout this movie, I did not care. Everyone could have died, and I wouldn't have given a shit. My apologies. See, just looking at my cat is more entertaining than watching Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania.
Your cat could make a better movie.
Probably. Phase 5 is off to a shitty start. We had some redemption with a solid Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and now we're back to the slump. Maybe it's Marvel fatigue, because I am getting sick of all these generic and predictable movies. They are all starting to blend into each other. They feel exactly the same. And if this is going to be the tone for Phase 5 and 6, we're fucked. I'm giving this a 3 out of 10, mainly for Jonathan Majors' performance.
All right, then. All right, give me a minute. All right. Oh, shit. Okay, there we go. All right, so when it comes to the MCU films just in general, I have noticed, I think we all know that there's been a large dip in qualities in terms of their films. The longer the MCU continues, the worse the quality of the films and shows start to become. I'm not saying that there are no good MCU projects lately. I mean, I enjoyed Wakanda Forever, Shang-Chi, and Spider-Man No Way Home. But you also have pieces of shit like Eternals, Thor, Love and Thunder, aka Shit and Blunder, and She-Hulk, which I have not seen and I have no intention of doing so. Marvel is just focusing on things that just start to annoy me about the MCU, which includes the things like quipping, the obnoxious humor, and the over-reliance of CGI. When it comes to the newest film, Ant-Man: Wasp Quantumania, this is the third film in the Ant-Man series and the start of the Phase 4, and it shows why I'm starting to get sick of the MCU and all of its annoying tropes. Now, let me just state that I did enjoy the first Ant-Man movie. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was like a fun time. The second one, although I thought played itself a little too safe and just became very forgettable. However, I would even rather take the second Ant-Man movie over this, to be honest with you, because it's like, this just had so much potential. This honestly could have been easily the best of the three Ant-Man movies. This could have been. And it turned out to be the complete opposite of that. It turned out to be the worst of the three. Now, let me just state that, let me just start with the positives first. The acting from some of the cast are solid, like Paul Rudd as Scott Lang, Michael Douglas as Hank Pym, Michelle Pfeiffer, and even Jonathan Majors. I mean, the way the character was written was a completely different story, but Jonathan Majors did do a decent enough job. I did like the one-on-one fight between Ant-Man, Wasp, and King at the end. And also, I will say that the world of the Quantum Realm was very unique looking. That's all the praises I can give this movie. In terms of my negatives, oh god, let's see here. As I said, the things that are starting to annoy me about the MCU lately is just all the obnoxious quipping, like all the inappropriate and immature humor. And even sometimes it ruins certain moments. Just like my friend Jay said, they pretty much ruin serious moments, and they did it twice. The fuck. And the jokes about how many holes Scott Lang has is fucking stupid. Cassie Lang was just so annoying and was just so fucking stupid. She annoyed me throughout this whole movie. And she didn't have any chemistry with Paul Rudd's character. I mean, it was hard to believe that this was the same little girl that we followed throughout the first two movies. The CGI was just way too overbloated, especially in the final fight. I can obviously tell that I was looking at someone walking behind a green screen. It just was way too CGI heavy. And the fact is that the CGI looked like crap most of the time. It wasn't even good. It looked like absolute crap. And especially on MODOK. I mean, just like Devin said, it looks like something out of Shark Boy and Lava Girl. MODOK looks like a poor man's version of Mr. Electric from Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Yes, I said that. Oh, and speaking of MODOK, he sucks as a villain. I know he's like one of the most popular Marvel villains, and they waste him in the end and just turn him into a fucking joke. It's just... And the whole twist of it being... I forgot the character's name, the one that was a Yellow Jacket in the first one. I can't remember. But it just seems like
Darren Cross.
Yeah, Darren Cross. Yeah, that was so stupid of making him MODOK. There was just no reason for this character to. Plus, there was no reason for this character to be here except fan service. That's it. There was no other reason for him to be there. Certain characters are wasted in this movie. I mean, Bill Murray You see Bill Murray in the trailer, yet he only has like what 5 minutes at most screen time, and then gets killed off. Why get a popular actor if you're not going to utilize him? And the way Kang is defeated by ants, really? That is the equivalent of Thanos getting defeated by slugs. See how stupid that is? You're talking about one of the most menacing villain and the guy who's supposed to replace Thanos as the big baddie of Phase 4 and beyond gets defeated by ants? That's stupid. I was hoping somebody would finish that quote.
Really stupid.
Thank you. I was hoping somebody would say that. But overall, while I can't say that this is the worst MCU movie, I mean, that honor still goes to Thor's shit and blunder. It's still bad, and I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up in my bottom 5 MCU movies. I would not recommend this film to anyone. Marvel, please stop it with just these annoying tropes and make a good MCU movie again. And either that, or you could just stop while you can. But seeing how Marvel only cares about one thing, Rome, do you have the clip? The money clip?
Oh,
We've got to have money.
Exactly. My score is a 3 out of 10.
I'm gonna let beg off and let I'm going to beg off for a bit and let Zach go first because I'm still editing mine. So, Zach, all on you.
All right. Going into Spy Kids 5 Quantumania. I'm sorry. Ant-Man Quantumania. I was excited. I mean, because knowing the Ant-Man characters, how they're always meant to be the lighter films coming off after the big Avengers movies, I thought it was interesting that they wanted this to be the one to kick off the next phase and introduce the next villain. Even though I don't know much about Kang the Conqueror, and I was like, why would you introduce a villain like that in an Ant-Man movie? I had my skepticisms, but the trailers had me excited, and I went in optimistic. But I will say this, because it's important. I liked this movie the first time I watched it. Originally, my score was going to be around like a 7.5. But I watched it again today, and while I will still attest that there are things that I like in this movie, my big problem with this movie is the concepts that are interesting that don't stick the landing at all. Like, how do I put this? Like, there are several points in this movie where this has been a problem with Marvel a lot lately, where they set up things that leave you think, oh, that's interesting. Like, maybe this can make the movie a bit better. It was a bit of a slog at first, but maybe they'll get better. But then they never pay off the big setups. The big thing being, I wanted to like MODOK in this movie. For one, I was all for the idea of him being the yellow jacket guy from Ant-Man. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, kind of still trying to connect it all. Even though they're changing the character, but when has Marvel never changed things about the movies? So I was all for it, but then if you're gonna redeem him, sure, it's rushed. It's gonna be fucking rushed. Depends if it's all just in one movie. You don't even give him an actual fight with Kang. He tries to do something and he goes out like a bitch. Yeah, killing machine my ass. So, and again, I'm all for the idea of connecting it back to the first one and having him be Darren Cross again. Sure, I accept your premise. Do something with it. The other thing, I liked Kang in this movie. I really did. He was the character I was most invested in. I thought Jonathan Majors was doing an excellent job. In the moments where they aren't cutting it down with a fucking joke, I was buying that, yes, this is a guy that means fucking business and he wants to fuck shit up. Maybe not as much as Thanos, but I was getting into it. But then they do the thing in the MCU that personally aggravates me the most. Killing off your villain in the first movie after you first fucking introduce him. I hate that these movies do that. I've always hated it whenever they do that, because there's a lot of times where that means you're wasting great villains. Like frickin', what's a good example? Hela. That's probably the biggest one. I feel like they could have used her a lot more in the MCU, but that's another story for another day. And they're trying to hide this all behind the fact that, oh, there's more Kangs, there's variants. I was invested in this Kang. I want to see this Kang be the villain. So, and going into the other aspects, the acting was fine. The characters were fine. You know, it's Ant-Man, so these characters are just doing whatever. It's the same kind of humor. But here's the thing. I actually want to bring this up, and I want to see if you guys agree. To introduce a character like Kang in an Ant-Man movie was never going to be a good idea. How does that work? Because is Kang even connected to Ant-Man? I mean, I know he's not just an Ant-Man villain, but is that actually how he is in the comics? That's the argument I make. For someone that's supposed to be an Avengers level threat to be taken down by fucking ants, I dread to see how they're going to take him down in the Kang Dynasty or Secret Wars. What are they going to do next time? Frickin', he's going to be killed by Spider-Man next? But not much else to say. I won't drag it out much longer. I liked it the first time, and again, while I will say there are things that I really like Kang, when they're not treating him like a joke, and the world building, and the visuals of the quantum realm, and the acting, like Scott Lang was still really likable for the most part. This was a lot of missed potential. It is probably going to be in my bottom 5. This is, as far as how it is, I like that. This would be my most frustrating installment of the MCU as far as good ideas, but no payoff. So overall, I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 10. The biggest disappointment we have had probably since Black Widow.
Mark, are you ready?
Maybe.
Oh, I'm ready. All right, hold up.
Take your time, Mark.
No, I'm all right. I'm just had to shed a little more light on the situation. Our expectations for you were low, but holy fuck. This film started out on OK Street in the first act, stayed straight on Bland Boulevard through the second, and turned left at Albuquerque onto Piss Poor Avenue in the third. At first, I was like, meh. But then I was like, unalive me, please. Just fucking shoot me and put me out of this film's misery. It just kept getting worse. My God. At one point, about an hour and 20 minutes into the film, after Kang retrieved the MacGuffin, I thought, oh, okay, they're about to beat him right now and in the movie right here. Well, that's good. At least it's short. Nope, no such luck. It just kept going on. This film just kept dragging on. They kept dragging it out. They just kept stuffing it full. I could not connect with a single character in this entire movie. And that's a big part, but by no means the only one, of what made watching this such a chore for me. I have never cared about the Ant-Man movies, but I thought it would at least be able to relate to a father trying to rebuild his relationship with his daughter from whom he was estranged for 5 years while he was trapped in the quantum realm or whatever during the snap. But nope, she was so poorly written and one-dimensional that not even as a troubled teen who had lived through hell without her father for 5 years, but just a normal Disney Nickelodeon cookie cutter good kid who just says stupid shit like, "You're an Avenger, Dad. You have to do something." you know. And then when she totally fucks up with her suit, Dad, I know how to do it, because you didn't just totally fuck up twice, idiot. Gag me with a fucking spoon, to borrow a phrase from the 80s. I would complain it ruined. Not even Jonathan Majors could overcome the poorly written script with the simplistic, childish dialogue straight out of the Super Friends with none of the charm. I mean, he has moments of brilliance. There are moments when he shines brightly, like when he says, "I am Kang." You know, you could feel that anger coming from him. But I mean, the arrogance. But at the same time, the script is just so badly written. Even he can only do so much. I mean, I felt so bad for them because he was so brilliant in Loki, and here he just there. You know, especially since they spend so much time. They spend a whole fucking hour building this guy up, and poorly at that. I mean, when your biggest enforcer is a guy with a huge head and a tiny butt who goes around in armor, and a discount great value version of Mr. Electric. You know, it's like my dad. It's like Jack said, why would you use the most forgettable MCU villain from MODOK? Why? I mean, that's around the time Jack walked out. Jack literally walked out of this shit twice, guys. Jack literally walked out twice. It's like, Dad, I got to get out of here. I can't even. Twice. Once during MODOK, when MODOK appeared, the second time, another reason he can't take him seriously, when the most powerful conqueror in the MCU was beaten by fucking ants. Fucking ants. I'm supposed to take this guy seriously. He was beaten by fucking ants. Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Oh, my God. The big bad is replacing Thanos with beaten by ants. I shit you not. I couldn't even enjoy the look of the film. You know, my daughter said it best. It looked like a knockoff Star Wars mixed with Shark Boy and Lava Girl, some kind of bastard mix of those two. They even had a cantina scene, for fuck's sake, and it didn't even work that well because, I mean, they totally misused. Bill Murray, and you know, I would complain that the humor would ruin the tension and ruin any serious scenes. But honestly, there weren't any goddamn serious scenes. There was none of it. The whole thing was one stupid ass joke from beginning to end. The whole damn thing was one joke. There were no serious scenes. They've gone from ruining serious scenes to not even having serious scenes. And that's why I just could not give a shit about this movie. I could not give a damn less about this movie. I went from not caring about this movie to actually by the end fucking hating this movie. I mean, we all did. All three of us did. Even Kaylee, of all people, said, I need a drink. And Kaylee never drinks. Kaylee does not even drink. She doesn't like the taste of alcohol. Even she said, I need a drink. Yes, I do. Dear God, thank you. Yeah, I'm going to need this.
Were empty, so.
Oh, well, shit. I'm going to have to. Anyway, when I get it open, I'm going to have to get a drink. So my rating is a 3 out of 10. Yeah, it really is. Not as bad as shit and blunder, but I mean, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's honestly the biggest thing. Like I agree. It's like any serious moments you could have had, especially with Kang, they always got to ruin it with Scott saying something stupid.
Yeah. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of Kang, okay,
I'm sorry. No, go ahead, Jay.
Oh no, you can go because like what I'm about to say is like pretty. It's like a long thing. So
okay. I was just going to say that.
Mark, does Jack or Kaylee want to say anything about the movie?
Kaylee, Jack, you guys want to say anything? Yeah, she didn't want to think about it.
Hey, Jack, did this movie have schizophrenia?
You want to rant? That's your chance. Go ahead and rant about the movie.
Penis.
Jack.
That works.
That's fine.
Jack's review or everything. Penis.
Yeah, exactly.
Penis. Fix everywhere.
That's pretty much what the rating that film deserves. Come on, seriously, rant about it.
The movie drained all of the energy from me. I can't rant. I'm not in the ranting mood.
Honestly,
He's
that's
still
it.
recovering.
The great and
Honestly,
Spoken by a
powerful
wise
Jack
man.
does not have anything to say.
Yep.
This movie must have been really bad.
It's not worth it, Jack. It's not worth
Oh,
it, buddy.
yeah.
It
It's not
really
worth
is
it.
not.
It's
No, it's
not.
not.
Like
No,
this
not
movie,
really.
No.
this movie had potential because before I saw this movie from the trailers, I thought so to add to what Mark said in his review about Scott missing out on Cassie's life during the blip. I'm gonna add more to that because
Yeah.
I did the math. Let's think back at Scott before he became a superhero. He was in jail. He was put in jail 4 years,
Yes.
and Cassie was 3 years old at the time.
Right.
He comes back, tries to have a good relationship with her, becomes a superhero, and what's the first thing he does? Gets put in jail, gets out of jail, he's in house arrest, but he still gets to spend time with her. Then he gets snapped away, he gets put in the quantum realm for 5 years. That's an extra 5 years. That's 9 years. He missed out
What he
on
said.
Cassie's life for 9 years.
Yes.
9 years. You would think that this movie would expand on that and be like, hey, Scott has missed out on 9 years of Cassie's life. And I told Devin this before we started the stream. I was thinking because I think Kang and Scott should have had a better dynamic in this movie than what it had.
Yes.
Because in the movie, it was literally, Kang
absolutely.
is evil. Oh, so I don't. So
I'm
Scott already knows that
evil.
Kang
Hear
is
me
evil.
roar.
So what I told Devin was, instead of Cassie and Scott being stranded for the rest of the group, it should have been Scott being stranded from everybody else, and Scott was by himself. And then Kang ends up finding him, and he's like, "Oh, Scott, I know I've been watching you while I've been in the quantum realm, and I know everything about you. Yada yada yada. I've seen what you can do and everything. I need your help. I'm stuck in this quantum realm, and I need your help to get me out of this place. And in return, I can give you what you most desperately want: time."
Exactly.
And that's what
Yes.
the trailers
he
were
said.
telling you, like that
Yeah.
whole thing.
Exactly what
Clearly.
he said, because that's what I would thought. I thought maybe he would actually be tempted, but there's no temptation there because
There is.
she's not even fucked up. This kid should actually be fucked up. As like Jay said, Jay just nailed it with everything. He's been in prison.
Absolutely.
He was on house arrest,
Exactly.
away from 5 years. This kid should be
He's just been a
majorly
bad
fucked
dad.
up.
Exactly.
Seriously.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
yeah.
what did they had a good opportunity? I mean, yeah, they had
mhm,
her have. She has a criminal record
mhm.
for protesting.
But protesting, exactly. I thought it was going to be
Protesting.
something cool, like stealing or
Protest.
something. Jesus.
Yeah,
I know.
And it's like,
and to top
Kang was-
it all off, they make her a brat. They make her annoying. They make her stupid.
Yeah.
Like, how the hell am I supposed to relate to or connect to this character? How am I supposed to care about this father-daughter dynamic?
and
don't.
even trying to give her the hero moments at the end by helping the army in the quantum realm with the resistance. I don't grasp into this because she hasn't been likable.
She didn't.
Yeah.
She
No.
didn't earn this.
No, she didn't.
And
Oh,
here's
no,
the thing:
no.
you could maybe make the argument that Kang was, because you're with all that trying to tempt Scott's like, I could give you time. He was probably just gonna screw him over anyway. That was probably just more,
But that was the thing. That was the
That was the
thing
thing
that I
with Kang,
thought should have happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Like obviously Scott, because obviously everyone knows. Like Janet knows that. Like Janet tells everyone that Kang can't be trusted. He's evil. Scott doesn't know that. So that's why I'm saying
Right.
Scott should have been split up from the rest of the group because Scott doesn't know who Kang is. He doesn't know that Kang is evil. He should have. So that makes it a better. That gives it more of a reason why Scott would be on Kang's side because Kang is going to help him, give him back what he most desperately wants. He wants time. He wants to. He wants the years that he lost with Cassie back.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
if this person can do that for him, then he's going to do it. And then when he realizes that that Kang is evil, that's a betrayal. Like that's something that would hit hard. But the movie does not take any risks at all to do that. Because in the movie,
Nope.
the reason why it doesn't work in this movie when it comes to Scott and Kang have a deal, because Cassie and Scott already know that fucking Kang is a bad guy. He literally threatened Cassie in front of him. Obviously, Scott is now aware that he's a bad guy. So when the whole we had a deal came, it doesn't matter that doesn't matter.
You knew he was going to turn your back on the deal. So,
and one more thing, I like how in the previous Ant-Man movies and even in Civil War and the Avengers, you're not supposed to take off your mask when you're big. But then in this movie, they take off their mask and they're perfectly fine while being gigantic.
Yeah, thank you.
Continuity. What's that?
And here's another
continuity.
Here's another continuity thing. I mean, I don't know if. Okay, so they established that Janet was in the quantum realm for 30 years, but they established that time works differently, though. So, I mean, are you the thing is that for 30 years should be 30 hours, right? In the quantum realm. So, did she did she build this big device within a day or something?
Did she fuck all those guys in a day?
I don't know, because it's like. Because 30 hours is like a day and 6 hours.
Because she
what the movie should have explained.
They just fucked up.
They did.
Yeah,
they should have explained
it.
Yeah. Because I thought the reason why Scott was only in there for 5 hours was because it's a well, in this case it's, if you don't hear it in this passing dialogue. When Scott was about to go into the quantum realm to retrieve data, Janet was saying, "Oh, don't get sucked into the time vortex because we can't get you out from there." I thought that was how he survived. I thought that was how he wasn't, he was in there for only 5 hours because he was in a time vortex.
Yeah, I'm confused. Yeah.
Like it's like Marvel forgets its continuity. Like this is the same thing with Thor: Love and Thunder. Like you mean to tell me that there was this wishing well that they had this entire fucking time, and they decide to pull it out of their ass now?
Exactly.
And apparently Thor's hammers were sentient. And
apparently Thor can give power to anyone he pleases, even though that could have been helpful in Endgame.
That's not the worst part. That's not even the worst part. The worst part is the fact that there was a wishing well this entire time. Do you understand how many lives could have been saved if that was used?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And multiple
and
lives
then they'll blow it off with something stupid like, "Oh, that's only for emergency."
But
fucking emergencies.
Exactly. Yeah. But Michelle Pfeiffer did give some insight with behind the scenes where like they didn't know what their dialogue was, what the script was until they got on scene.
It definitely shows.
Like, really,
wait.
Know their scene to know what they're doing. Ant-Man, Quantumania, yeah.
They
showed up
a lot
on set, not knowing what they're gonna do because they were still rewriting the script over and over again.
Damn.
And then
listen, Mark.
Yeah.
I know you do not like this man. I know he boils your fucking blood.
Yeah,
but at least James Gunn is aware that before he even makes the goddamn movie, he wants the writers to. He's prioritizing the writers over the movie being made.
Yeah.
Why would you?
Yeah, I mean, he can make it. He's a competent filmmaker. I mean, I just don't care for his sense of humor. I mean,
why would you start filming when the script is not finished? When has that ever worked?
Never.
No,
maybe it has.
Exactly. I mean,
Scream 3 was like that too. They were always shooting scenes without a finished script.
I know during Iron Man and Joker, the script kept getting rewritten.
I know that it's not that unusual for them to start filming without a finished script. I mean, I know they do that. I mean, they're constantly doing rewrites,
right? Especially like with the endings, they always change the endings, trying to figure something out. But this was more like they just didn't know what to do for that specifically scene. Like,
Iron Man. Iron Man's the exception, and Joker. But I mean, let's look at an example. Rise of Skywalker. Daisy Ridley went out and said, "We did not know who Rey was related to until like." How many days into filming that movie? Yeah. The whole time she thought that Rey was related to Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That would make a lot more sense than her being related to fucking Palpatine, but that's another story for another time.
Right.
This.
Yeah.
Came out of fucking nowhere. They gave the big setup movie for Phase 5.
Like,
They really made Ant-Man
Yeah.
3 the big setup movie for Phase 5. Wow.
but no, like,
Yeah.
is it crazy to say that the first Ant-Man movie is the best one of the trilogy?
It is the best.
It is
one.
the best one.
That's
I just
sad.
can't believe we got a trilogy over fucking Man of Steel. Like, come on, like Superman doesn't deserve a trilogy. Like, this
Well,
frustrates me.
you can't blame
Yeah.
Marvel for that. That's DC's issue.
No, but
Well,
it's just
I mean-
the idea. Like Ant-Man got
Yeah.
3 movies,
Yeah.
and like just
Yeah.
one movie for Man of Steel. Like, it's just
Yeah.
And
Right.
like I said, if handled right, maybe this could have been the best of the 3. It could have been,
It could have been.
but it didn't. It ended up being the opposite.
And this
do
is
you
what
think if
makes
they
it
just
worse.
focused on Kang instead of like Ant-Man in this movie, like make it more central to Kang, so we get to know more about Kang and everything? Maybe that could have made more
Honestly,
sense.
I feel like this movie should have been. I feel like Scott and Kang should have been the focal point of this movie instead of
Right.
Janet. I have no problem with Janet being the focal point. Honestly, you know what? Fine. Scott, Kang, and Janet should be the main characters of this movie because it's for the movie, for the tagline to literally be called Ant-Man and the Wasp, and and Hope barely has a character in this movie. Hank and Hope, and by extension Cassie, do nothing. They do nothing. Hope
Yeah,
does
pretty much.
nothing. He does nothing.
Preach.
Would you guys even make the argument that Ant-Man and that corner of the MCU wasn't the right setup to bring in a villain like Kang?
It
No,
wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
No,
It
it
really
wasn't.
wasn't.
Kang is too big of a villain for an Ant-Man movie.
If
Like-
anything,
Yeah,
they
Ant-Man's-
shouldn't even. They should not have touched
Yeah.
Kang at all. They should not have touched him.
Who do you think they should have gotten instead of Kang for an Ant-Man
I
movie?
would say maybe Falcon and the Winter Soldier again. Like, would you say that?
No.
Maybe say,
No.
or would you say maybe that be Captain America 4 set up Kang? 'Cause
No.
you're Captain
No.
America-
No.
For an Ant-Man movie?
No.
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 Kang or Captain
Kang for a
America.
Captain
What are you
America
smoking,
movie
son?
sounds so wrong.
No, I'm just saying because
Still here.
Captain America is
He's still here.
I mean, it's already bad
I know,
enough
my
that Captain
internet-
America 4 that has the fucking leader as the main villain. It's already bad
Listen,
enough
what
that
the
the
fuck?
leader's the villain.
But I mean, who would you guys have chosen for an Ant-Man movie?
I don't know,
Kang?
the Mole Man.
No, what
Yeah.
I mean is, if you're setting up Kang as the villain, don't do it if not an Ant-Man movie. That's what I meant. Like maybe in like Captain America or something that's bigger than Ant-Man.
Honestly,
If that was the case, they could have just made that an Avengers villain.
like, what
They
is
should have.
he is
I
going
guess
to
they
be.
should have introduced him in Fantastic Four.
Yeah, maybe introduce.
No, I feel like Fantastic Four. I think the Fantastic Four. It's the. I don't know, maybe, but the fact that you're introducing Kang and the Fantastic Four in the same movie,
Yeah.
I don't think that's no. For Ant-Man, for this movie, honestly, I would not have minded if MODOK was the main villain. Just don't have it be Darren Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, MODOK
Exactly.
makes sense.
Introduce AIM.
Yeah.
Like, can we fucking get AIM, please?
What
AIM
is
is a
AIM
very
anyway?
integral part of the fucking comics.
What is AIM anyway? Deal me in.
Google.
Oh,
It's more of an Iron Man villain more than it's mainly the Iron Man's dead, so we can't have AIM in an Iron Man movie. But AIM is like a very
Just
important
use any of Iron
organization.
Man's villains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just watch them bring
nah.
back Iron Man. They'll knowing the MCU nowadays, they'll fucking do it.
And then they'll have
Yeah, they will.
and then have Robert Downey Jr. making like an inappropriate joke every 5 minutes.
Exactly.
And you want to know what's worse? It's the fact that we now have had 2 movies where the MCU was trying to experiment with. It's ironic that the MCU had found so much success when they were doing cosmic movies, experimenting with different planets and different teams all over across the galaxy, and they are having such trouble with making a simple movie about the multiverse / a pocket dimension.
It really says something when the best movie that to do the multiverse correctly was an A24 movie.
It wasn't even a
Yes.
Marvel movie. Like, do you understand how
It was an
strange-
A24 movie.
Exactly.
how about
They
this?
come around all at once.
How about Doctor Strange? Another Doctor Strange movie introducing
No.
Kang.
No.
No.
No,
Kang is not magic. He's not magic.
No, he's not magic. No,
No, he's not.
I mean, because we all agree that an Ant-Man movie wasn't the right setting to introduce.
Get the fuck out!
Honestly, this is what they
no.
This is what they should have done. This is what they should have done.
Give me back my
Have
phone.
Loki introduce Kang. Then when Kang dies,
Hey,
we are left with suspense because we don't know what's gonna happen, and then set him up like they did Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to have they think, oh, because we did Thanos so well, we're gonna do Kang with even better finesse, and we're gonna make it even better. And they don't, and they forgot what made Thanos. They forgot what made a villain like Thanos such a household name.
And plus, they never treated Thanos like a joke or defeated him in a bullshit way.
No,
Right.
they treated him seriously. They set him up.
I
Exactly.
mean, like even the
Exactly.
after credit scene, the mid credit scene, where you see them all in the stadium. Something's like
That was ridiculous.
stupid. I mean,
Something tells me that they are not going to use that. They won't use that at all.
No, I think they are because they're doing
Nope.
Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, and then Secret Wars. So
And what is that whole army of Kangs going to do?
I isn't that what that is? Isn't that like the Kang Dynasty, or is that what that is?
I mean, I never read the Kang Dynasty comic line, so I
mean,
can't,
the biggest
I can't say.
Zach, it's like you said, like the biggest Kang was Kang the Conqueror. They just killed him with a bunch of ants. So nobody really
Exactly.
cares who else they throw from the Kang Dynasty.
Honestly, the only way that I feel like they can make up for this is the fact that Kang may not be dead, and he's probably like trapped in that world wherever he got sucked in, and he's probably gonna come. That's the only way they can make this up. Make up.
I wouldn't have even done that. I mean, I would say, why not actually have him escape, and they actually pay off that bit from the trailer is like, we don't have to win, we just have to lose. Only Kang actually gets away, and Scott is left trapped in the quantum realm or something being a dark ending where Kang actually gets out.
but then that would have been him losing.
Losing.
Yeah.
Losing.
I mean, well, what I mean is, actually have Kang get out or something, because that it's just another thing where they, or at least supposedly anyway, killed off another villain after introducing him in the same movie, and I'm so sick of these movies doing that.
You know what? The whole pitch that I said about Kang and Scott, having a dynamic with Scott wanting to have time, Kang offering Scott time. Why do I get the feeling that this movie, and with what Rome said about the movie, like not having a complete script, why do I get the feeling that this is multiple movies in one?
Yeah.
I'm starting to get the feeling that this, the end, the whole we both just have to lose was a part of a different script.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're right. I think at one point they were planning on killing Ant-Man, but honestly, which would have been a better ending. I mean, Jesus. I mean, at that point, I think it would have been kind of meaningless and kind of stupid. But I mean, because they'd already beaten them, I mean,
Yeah, they did.
Dumb. But I mean, but I think at one point they were planning on killing him off. And so him sacrificing himself to keep Kang.
Would have made more sense.
Like, I'm not saying kill off Ant-Man, but you got to do something very honestly, and it's really it's shameful of the fact that it's really shameful that I knew that they weren't going to do it. They don't have the balls. They don't have the balls to kill off Ant-Man. Because Paul Rudd is a very marketable actor. He's a very charismatic guy, and they just don't have the guts to do it. Whenever someone in the MCU gets killed off now, it's basically a side character that no one really gives a shit about.
Yeah.
Ant-Man. I'm sorry, Aunt May. She got killed off, and I did not give a shit about her character. Jane got killed off, and we really didn't care about her character, especially in Love and Thunder. Did anyone die in did anyone any side characters die in Multiverse of Madness?
Just the alternate version.
Just the alternate versions of
I mean, they don't count. They really don't count.
Wanda died. I mean,
Wanda, but we know she's coming back.
She's not. Yeah, she died.
Yeah. They're
Yeah, we know
not
she's
gonna
back.
kill her off. Yeah, she's coming back.
What's
Too good
another,
of a villain.
what's another character?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Fuck.
Marvel's been dark. I mean, Infinity War, despite the still having their humor, was pretty serious.
The tone humor ruined the tone, though. That was my whole point. They turned Hulk into a fucking pussy. They turned the Incredible Goddamn Hulk into a fucking pussy.
I'm glad that you said that.
Fuck you. He's the goddamn Hulk. Hulk isn't scared of anybody. What the fuck is that shit?
Oh no, I agree. I hated that too.
Exactly.
I hate that they did that too.
Exactly that. What my friend Jay is holding there, that is
Me
one
too.
hell of a
Right here.
because they went back to
Right
basics.
here is a work of art.
Exactly, they went back
That's
to
the Hulk.
basics.
Yep.
This is the Hulk.
That felt
The
like
Hulk.
that was made in the spirit of the old Incredible Hulk TV show.
Yep.
You could tell they were big fans. You could tell Ed Norton and the director were big fans.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Is the Hulk.
Exactly.
I mean, Lou Britton
Yeah,
still voiced him.
But yeah, my ending would have been something on the line of maybe Ant-Man dies as well, but overall, I would say Kang actually gets out of there, out of the quantum realm.
Oh, well, we all can't get what we want.
Yeah,
so.
he should have. Wouldn't
Like, isn't that wouldn't that have actually been a better ending? Like,
No,
all right,
no, because
right.
I mean, you could have left him if he's going to sacrifice himself. He can't sacrifice himself for nothing, though, Zach. If he's going to sacrifice himself, then Kang has to remain trapped. You don't have to kill him, but he has to remain trapped in there. So,
or if not a sacrifice, like say maybe Kang overpowers him and kills him and gets out anyway. Like not
also
a sacrifice.
but I mean, no, I don't think that would be very good ending. I mean,
Honestly, this is.
I mean, it should have been some kind of tragedy.
Yeah, because I figure you want to set this up as a darker, more serious movie. Actually, fucking own it. And I figure the best way to cap that off would have been in some way Kang wins and actually gets himself out of there in some way.
Like this is the thing though. Like the ending that they originally had in the movie could have been somewhat a little bit like dark. It could have had a really dark ending with what they had, because you have Scott, having monologue in the end of the movie, and he's literally thinking to himself like, oh crap, like did I just doom everybody because Kang he warned us that something's coming, and they just brush it off like
Like
this,
no big deal.
the ending still could have worked. It could have worked.
yeah.
But they just don't take it seriously. And it's unfortunately that Ant-Man is the character that Marvel and the MCU does not take seriously unless he's in a team-up movie.
They were trying too hard with this movie. I couldn't connect with any of them. I didn't give a damn about any of the main characters. I didn't give a damn about any of these rebels and their dildo-shaped buildings with arms and legs.
Oh my god, I forgot about those characters.
Flying dildo-shaped building. The flying dildo.
But Mark, don't you know it's penis world?
Exactly. Jesus Christ.
I bet
And
you-
it's the Star
I bet you
Wars
that all
vibes too. With the last Star Wars too, they were
Exactly. I
Trying to
mean, they were trying too hard to make like a Star Wars vibe to it. It was just fucking fail.
Yeah.
I bet you that all
Indeed,
the
because
fans,
Disney owns Star Wars now. Coincidence? I think not.
I bet you that all the fans that wanted who was the dude that can read minds? What's his name? What's the actor's name?
I don't know.
William Jackson.
Psychic guy. I don't know.
Yeah, I know his name's
like,
William.
because
He
he
played
was
Clive.
fan casted. He was fan casted
Yeah.
as Reed Richards. I bet you people are pissed that he was wasted like that, because he's a good actor.
He was
Yeah.
good. I liked him in the movie.
Yeah, he was.
He's
good.
one of the
It was.
positive parts I liked about the movie.
Yeah,
But his character was just annoying.
it was a waste. Yeah, I agree. It was a waste.
It was a waste.
Like
He was good for what it was, but I mean, the character was just. They
He was
poured
just a throwaway character.
What is it?
He was useless. Yeah.
And
Their
what is it with
collapse.
the MCU wasting a lot of good actors' talents? Christian Bale, Jonathan Majors,
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
Yeah.
I forgot that Bill
Bill
Murray was
Murray,
even in this
yeah,
movie.
Bill Murray.
Exactly. He was only in for like
5
a
minutes.
few minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes at most, and then they
He
killed
only
him
made
off.
a couple of
And-
Murray-like jokes.
And right, dude. You want to know what's funny? I had to use the bathroom twice while watching this movie, and I walked out, and I didn't miss any single. And like I didn't even. I still understood the movie entirely. But
Yeah.
I didn't know that Bill Murray's character died because when I came back, that was like we were at the scene where like Hank is flying some ship, and then him and Janet are like, oh, like we like I had sex with blah 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 blah.
Because it was like that big octopus thing.
Yeah, it was that thing.
Yeah, that killed.
And she used the Pym particles.
Like the one that was in that drink that he was drinking down.
Yeah.
Yeah, she used the Pym particles to enlarge it and threw it at him, and got big and ate him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, we're at the hour mark. Just want to let you guys know
You
if you guys
didn't
want to
miss
do
anything.
5 or 10 minute warning. Let me know if you guys want to continue or you want to or stop
Okay.
after 5 minutes.
Let's put this film out of our
Devin, you're on
misery.
mute.
You're on mute, Mark or Devin.
so
Would you guys say that
so
this was?
with-
I'm sorry. Go on.
w-
All right, so Mark,
What?
he's frozen. He's frozen. Oh, he's
I'm
not
not
frozen
frozen.
anymore.
You're frozen. You're frozen.
I was frozen today.
let me talk.
Well,
Mark, you said you have alcohol, right?
Yeah. I had it. Where's my alcohol? Oh, hold on.
I'd have to go get mine. So,
I was saying,
Salute.
if you need a drinking buddy, I'm right here.
you know what? One shot wouldn't hurt. Give me a minute.
But yeah, that's my thing. Is like I really would have ended this with some way with Kang getting out of the quantum. Because if you really want to set up that he's this big bad who's gonna fuck shit up in the next couple phases, then don't just defeat him at the end. It makes it all feel like inconsequential. Like it makes it feel like he's just another villain, not the next Thanos. That pissed me off.
I mean, to me, I felt like the whole Kang thing's just like they're just puppets for someone else being behind the scenes, and then maybe that sets up Secret Wars.
Yeah, I guess there's a Kang. I guess there's a main Kang, and I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but they're in that weird scene, the Coliseum with all the Kangs. If you
Yeah.
look closely, you can see a scroll.
Yep, I saw that too.
The green one, right?
Yeah,
Like,
is that a scroll?
Yeah, like I get that's what they're
Yeah, let's
going
scroll.
for, but
Yeah.
but the problem is that
All right.
it's this Kang that I was invested in, you know. And it's like you kill off this Kang,
Actually, no. Let's say this to the very end of the review.
Okay.
you get what
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like it's this Kang in this movie that I got invested in, and it's like
I have a question for you guys. Since I think all of us didn't like. Would you guys say that this is so far? I mean, I know we're only in the month of February, but would you say that this was the worst film so far this year?
No, because
No.
the worst thing I've seen all year is this.
Yes, get him.
Because you like Wall the movie, we know. Here's the thing. It
It's
would
one of the worst
be.
ones I've seen this so far.
Here's the thing. It would be for me if it weren't for another movie that I saw a couple days before that.
Yeah.
That I saw
You people,
yeah.
you people.
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Like
Oh.
this is definitely one of the lesser movies I've seen this year now, but yeah, not turning it into another rant about this movie, but Megan is still my worst.
Mm.
But
You mean Mathregan? You mean Mathregan?
Yep. Which is now getting an unrated cut, by the way, which
And it's going to
at least we'll
Peacock.
get, yep,
Yeah.
at least we'll get some gore. That's the only thing it's gonna be good for.
all right, so Mark.
Oh
Rob?
yeah. Hold up.
You guys.
This is not for you.
Salute.
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 So with Ant-Man Quantumania now being out and it's being disappointing. I mean, does that worry you guys for like Guardians of the Galaxy and any of the oncoming movies later on? Or
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a James Gunn fan, so I don't care about.
oh my
no,
God!
At this point,
I expect Guardian. I mean, I'm sure it would be better than this crap. Though. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
A little bit better.
I
Exactly.
still have faith in Guardians 3 because I have a feeling it really is going to be something special because for them all to come and defend his back, to get him back onto the movie, to really want him back, they wouldn't do it without James. They would all walk away. That really leaves me thinking that they're going to put their heart into really making this something emotional and special. So I'll still hold that expectation for it, that this is really going to be something that was really worth them defending James Gunn's back for.
But like for my final thoughts, I'm sure you guys are gonna agree. Normally, I would, even if a MCU movie is bad, I would recommend it. This is one of the few MCU properties I can't recommend. Not even for Disney Plus. I will come right out and say, don't bother wasting your money on this.
No, you don't. No, you
Don't
don't.
waste 2 hours of your time.
No.
That 2 hours can be going to better things with your time.
It's like just wait until movie clips get on YouTube and watch all the Kang stuff, and that's about it.
And
You want to know?
Go on.
Wait, what?
No, you were gonna
You
say
want
something.
to know what movie? You want to know what movie? Oh wait, I want Mark to see this. Mark, come back.
I'm coming.
Come back.
Hold on. Coming.
But for me, at this point, like any Marvel movie I see, it's like you just hope like you can at least like it. Never mind like loving it. You know, it's just
Exactly.
just give me a good movie.
Yeah.
Give us something like Wakanda Forever or Spider-Man No Way Home.
Tell us a movie
Shang-Chi.
that's like just focus on
Honestly,
one movie
I
at a
like
time.
Multiverse of Madness. I mean, it was at least fun, you know. I mean,
You want to know? You want to know a 2 hour? You want to know what movie that I could have watched that was better than this one? This movie right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Fuck yes.
Yes.
Henry, we miss you. We miss you very much.
Motherfucking
Thank
cow.
you for being the best
Bitch.
Superman ever and giving us the best Superman movie
Bitch.
ever. I'm sorry, Richard Donner,
Hell
but
yeah.
I really do not vibe with your Superman
Hell
movies. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Mm.
Love Henry Cavill. Love him.
Oh yeah, Henry's great.
So do we go ahead and just go ahead and announce what the next Cool Kids review is going to be?
Yeah, we
Yes,
can do that. Next,
I mean, because we've already said enough of this movie, so
Pretty
we
much.
did a good over an hour talking about Marvel and Ant-Man and Phase 5 Dumpster Fire.
So
the next stream will be
stay tuned next Saturday where we do our very first Cool Kids double feature review, which will be bear themed. We'll be doing a double feature review for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and Cocaine Bear.
You.
Cocaine.
No, Cocaine Bear, great.
Cocaine Bear,
Cocaine.
I'm gonna have some surprising thoughts on Blood and Honey.
I'm just hoping that Cocaine Bear at least is
Just
at
say,
the very least.
It would be funny.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, it's a movie. It's a movie about a bear fighting Michael Caine. I mean, obviously,
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
I'm just saying. Every time Zach praises a bad movie, an angel dies.
Exactly.
I won't praise it, but I'll save my thoughts for the review.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, that's gonna do it for us. Y'all have a good weekend. See you guys next Saturday.
Later, fellas.
Wrong outro.
Once again, we have